Welcome, dear followers, to a riveting tale of one woman's incredible journey. In the heart of America, amidst poverty and tragedy, a beautiful young woman's life takes an unexpected turn after witnessing a ruthless gangster's actions. Get ready for an extraordinary journey as she rises from the ashes of despair to become America's wealthiest individual. In the heart of New York City, where dreams could either be realized or shattered in an instant, lived a beautiful young woman named Isabella. She was a vision of grace and charm, with raven black hair that cascaded like a waterfall and eyes that sparkled like the stars in the night sky. But despite her striking beauty, Isabella's life was far from glamorous. She was born into poverty, struggling to make ends meet. Isabella's parents, Maria and Antonio, were hard-working immigrants who had come to America in search of a better life. They had instilled in their daughter the values of honesty and integrity, despite the harsh realities of their daily existence. The family lived in a cramped apartment in a rundown neighborhood, scraping by with the meager income Antonio earned as a janitor. Life was tough, but they were content in their own way, finding joy in the simple pleasures of life. One fateful evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows over the city, Isabella's life took a nightmarish turn. She and her parents were returning from a rare treat, a modest dinner at a local diner to celebrate her mother's birthday. The air was thick with tension as they navigated the dimly lit streets, aware of the danger that lurked in the corners of their neighborhood. As they turned the corner onto their street, a sinister figure emerged from the shadows, his face concealed by the darkness. It was a gangster known as Marco, notorious for his ruthlessness and cruelty. Antonio recognized him immediately, for he had crossed paths with him before, owing him a debt he could never repay. With a menacing glint in his eyes, Marco confronted Antonio, demanding his long overdue payment. Panic and fear filled the air as Isabella clutched her mother's hand, tears streaming down her face. They had nothing to give, nothing to offer the relentless gangster. Enraged by their inability to pay, Marco's patience snapped like a brittle twig. In a horrifying instant, he drew a gleaming knife and struck Antonio down with a single, merciless blow. The world seemed to stop as Isabella and Maria screamed in terror, their lives unraveling before their eyes. Blood stained the pavement, and the lifeless body of Isabella's a moment that would forever change the course of Isabella's life. In the days that followed, Isabella and Maria mourned the loss of their beloved Antonio, grappling with grief and the harsh reality of their dire circumstances. With no income and mounting debts, they faced eviction from their modest home. Isabella, now burdened with the responsibility of caring for her grieving mother and ensuring their survival, found herself at a crossroads. The darkness that had claimed her father's life whispered temptations in her ear. She began to contemplate entering the treacherous world of drugs and gangs, seeking revenge against Marco and the power to protect her mother from further harm. It was a dangerous path, fraught with peril and uncertainty, but Isabella felt a burning resolve within her. She began to acquaint herself with the unsavory characters that lurked in the shadows of the city, learning the tricks of the trade and forging alliances with those who could help her achieve her goals. Isabella's transformation was nothing short of remarkable. She evolved from a vulnerable young woman into a shrewd and resourceful individual, willing to do whatever it took to climb the ladder of power. As months turned into years, Isabella's influence in the criminal underworld grew steadily. She was a mastermind, cunning and calculated, playing a dangerous game that tested her wit and cunning at every turn. The drugs flowed through the streets, and her wealth grew exponentially, as did her reputation. But as Isabella delved deeper into this treacherous world, she couldn't help but feel a growing emptiness within her. The power and riches she had acquired had come at a steep price, eroding the values her parents had instilled in her. She had become a hardened figure, feared and respected by many, yet the memory of that fateful night continued to haunt her. One day, as she stood at the pinnacle of her empire, Isabella received a letter that would change the course of her life once more. It was a letter from her mother, who had been living. Tears welled up in Isabella's eyes as she read her mother's words. She realized that she had strayed far from the values that had defined her upbringing, and in her pursuit of vengeance and power, she had lost sight of her true self. It was a reckoning, a moment of clarity that shook her to her core. Determined to honor her mother's wishes and find redemption for the choices she had made, Isabella hatched a daring plan. She would use her influence and resources to dismantle the very criminal empire she had built, to put an end to the drugs and violence that had plagued her city. It was a perilous endeavor, fraught with danger and betrayal, as she turned against former allies and dismantled the networks she had so painstakingly constructed. But Isabella was unyielding in her resolve, driven by the memory of her parents and the love she had for her mother. As the empire crumbled around her, Isabella emerged as a beacon of hope in a city shrouded in darkness. She used her wealth to fund community programs, to provide education and opportunities for those trapped in poverty, and to offer a way out of the vicious cycle of crime that had ensnared so many. Years passed, and the city began to heal. Isabella had not only redeemed herself, but had also become a symbol of transformation and resilience. Her journey from poverty to riches, from vengeance to redemption, was an inspiring testament to the human spirit's capacity for change. Isabella's mother, Maria, watched with pride as her daughter transformed the lives of countless individuals, just as she herself had once transformed Isabella's life with love and integrity. The legacy of the beautiful young woman who had once walked the dangerous path of drugs and gangs had evolved into something far greater, a legacy of compassion, strength, and the enduring power of love. In the end, Isabella's journey was a testament to the idea that no matter how far one strays from their values, there is always a path to redemption, a chance to change the course of one's life, and the capacity to make the world a better place.